I'm on borrowed time. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking. Pretty good. Shit, it's raining. Oh no. Shit. Well, that puts a damper on this episode. Yeah, so anyways, this episode I'm gonna teach you how, well, no, I'm not gonna teach anything. So I don't like putting my name behind any kind of educational content. We're gonna try our best to cook a tomahawk steak, which is enormous. I've never had it. It's a little bit intimidating just by the size of it. But essentially what this is a ribeye steak. It's actually probably several ribeye steaks, and it's still attached to the rib. It's probably this way mainly for visual effects and less so such, unimportant factors as taste. But I thought it would be fun to give it a try. We're gonna do it on the grill. We're gonna try to reverse sear, which is not a method I've done on the show before. And it just started raining, so I think it just stopped raining. So rain may be a factor, but rain or shine, the pleasure is all mine. And you can support tomatoes with garden twine. I'm gonna drink. This would be a good time for me to just bitch about everything. This will be my grievance list, and I'll just get it out of the way. And hopefully none of that negativity makes its way back into the episode. I had surgery a week ago, and I'm okay, but it's hard to walk. And so if you see me waddling around like an idiot, it's not too different from a regular show, but that's why that. That's my explanation from now on. And in addition to that, on Sunday night, storm came through and knocked down a tree branch, which fell on my car. Did some serious damage, and lightning struck and scrambled my home computer. So I would say that things are f***ed in the shit department. But I got car insurance, and I spent most of last night fixing my computer. It's all good now. I'm feeling better every day, so we're on the upswing. But if I seem a little bit downtrodden or tired or particularly miserable, not just the everyday, grumpiness, that's why. Just an extra excuse to drink, I guess. I tell you what, there's medical studies, alcohol is an effective painkiller, and I sure as heck prefer that to Vicodin and that shit. I was on that Vicodin for a couple days, and it filled my head with I did not like it, not one bit. I got so stupid on it, I was like, did I take that pill? Should I take another pill? Like, no, God, no. So I got off that pretty quick. Regular old ibuprofen's good enough for me and my family. I gotta get that grill going. I'm gonna demonstrate, well, we'll make it work. I'm gonna demonstrate some less than ideal ways to work on the grill. Well, the first one is when it's raining, don't mess with the grill, but we don't have the luxury of choice right now. My grill cover. The next thing is that I actually have a bunch of coal in this already, and I want to facilitate lighting it, but because I was lazy, my coal chute is rusted out, and now I gotta do dumb shit to get it to work. So the main thing that I'll be doing is shoveling coal into this while it's in there, and it's just gonna look silly. But basically, I'm making a space for it. And I'm gonna use some crumpled up liquor bags as kindling. And then I'm gonna shovel the coal on top, kinda like an idiot. The main reason I'm doing this is that there's too much coal in there, so I can't just put in new coal. I'm gonna open the chute so there's airflow. So here we are with my arrangement. I got my chimney, got the shutter open a bit, and I'm gonna try to light that bag from below in a couple places. This is sometimes difficult to do, but usually when it works, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, I got a little bit of smoke action. Usually I just stick the candle lighter there and kind of hope for the best. All right, so that's starting to go. And the chimney will heat up the coals a bit. We actually don't want the coals super duper hot because we're gonna start the steak at a low heat. That's the idea of the reverse sear. Low heat, get it to close to the temperature range, and then you turn the heat weight up and you sear it, and it's gonna be smoky, so we're gonna get out of here. It's my old man shuffle. Holy shit! No! Should have known. Already. It's classic my dogs. Old Vinny helped himself to a little bit of that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. We actually need to trim this up a bit. Perfect. But he didn't get really anything other than some fat, so you know we'll trim that up, and it's good as new. Idiot. Asshole. Something to be wary of. You can already see this is starting to tear from the bone. So you have to be careful when actually working with this piece of meat so that the bone doesn't just fall out, because then what's the point? You just got this stupidly big steak. So we will be mindful of that, I hope. We're letting this rest, come closer to room temperature. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll give it a salt. One of the things you can do with steaks that I've never really with too much is you can kind of let them dry age in your fridge. That seems to be a popular thing. I don't with that. I never have any room in my fridge. This is not possible. Okay, and we'll come back to that. Oh yeah, coals actually heated up really quick, and I think it's partly because they've been lit before. But if you look down in here, you can see we've got like the nice red-orange color. We don't want it much hotter than this. If you were grilling at a higher heat immediately, you would actually like let this go further. But we're trying to keep the temperature low, so we'll go ahead and break that up. And it looks like the paper wasn't done, so that's fine. Put our grill plate back on, and now we play the temperature game. So we actually don't want that open at all. Just realized that I'm dumb. I've had this realization many times on the show. And I'm gonna use a dual probe monitoring system for this. This is something that I typically use for smoking food, but basically the two probes, one measures how hot the grill is and the other measures how hot the meat is. So we'll get that set up. So just one here close to the grate, fine. And we want that to be 225 degrees. Right now it's at 118. So we're gonna let that build up a little bit. And then this other probe will go in the steak, and that'll be how we might measure temperature. It'll be way more precise than a normal episode. So that should heat up pretty quickly. I'll try to, oh crap, it's already heating up. Okay, so the temperature already popped up to 190. So we're gonna go ahead and choke it, because it is way easier to get it hotter than it is to reduce the temperature due to the nature of the grill. So I'm gonna basically close both shutters pretty much all the way. And what's gonna happen is that hopefully the fire level's up, but you can see we're at 230 already. And that's just from the hot coals settling. It's a delicate like temperature dance, because if you choke it too soon, then the fire goes out, and then you just did all that work for nothing. But I think we caught it just about the right time. So once I am confident in that temperature, we'll get the steak on. It'll just be a minute here. Also, it's hot as balls out right now. Summer is here. Shit. Okay, so our grill's actually a little bit too hot, but I don't think it's gonna matter in the long run, because we're gonna let it cool off a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the steak on, and we're just gonna plop it on right there. And we're gonna go ahead and put in the other remote, the probe, and basically you want it in the thickest part of the steak, and just really get it in there. And I think that'll be fine. And essentially, I'm gonna let that go until it reaches roughly 100 degrees, because when you take it off at 100 degrees, it's gonna continue to cook. We're gonna let it rest. Hopefully it gets to around 115, and then when we sear it, or char it, it's probably gonna be more like charring, honestly, that's gonna elevate the temperature some more. So 125 will be rare, 135 will be medium rare. Anything after that is bullshit. But given our general inability to hit numbers or do anything right, it could be this steak could be any doneness, really. I'm just a little bit worried that the grill's gonna be too hot, and I think it still is. I'm trying to choke the bottom up some more just to let it die down, but like, worst case, it cooks at a little higher temp and it gets done sooner. Cooking it lower and slower lets it break down more, which is especially nice for a ribeye, because it is nice marbling, nice fat, that when you cook fats more slowly, it becomes better to eat rather than rubbery and bad. How's this grill still getting hotter? I'm trying to get the temperature right. It's a struggle, but every day's a struggle. That's why you just gotta check the box. And other sayings from the show. We'll be back. This is an update on the steak, the Tomahawk. And I'm on the struggle bus because I can't get the temperature low enough. I actually closed the grill completely and it's still too hot. It's at 275, which again, it's not the worst thing in the world. But you can see the steak starting to cook, which is okay. I actually want to flip it so that we ensure a more even cook. You can see though, we're starting to Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That fat is already like sliding right off. Temperature's dropping, so maybe I finally got this to go. But this is, the steak's at about 75, 80 degrees right now. So we've got to keep watching it. Probably another 10, 15 minutes, my guess, until it's around 100 degrees. Then we're gonna pull it, and then it'll be stage 2. That's all I got right now. Hi, I'm Phil. Steak is reading 99 degrees. Now if you look at it, it's starting to look something like a cooked food. Got the fat starting to melt down a little bit. So this is good. I'm gonna remove the probe, throw this on the ground. And here I've got some foil that we're gonna wrap the beef in off of the grill. And I should do one of these. Now the bone itself can stick out. You want to try to wrap up the meat as best you can. All right, so we're gonna let that rest for 10, 15 minutes, at most, and it'll continue to raise the temperature. And we're gonna open up the vents, and hopefully, maybe we can stir up the coals a bit and get some action here. Look at my nice tomatoes. All right, we got our grill up at close to 500 degrees. Let's do a quick tip check to see where the resting steak is at. Pop that open. Oh man, look at those juices. They're gonna just flare right up when we put that on the grill. Hell. That was lightning. We gotta finish this bitch up. So we're roughly at 100 degrees. Didn't change too different. That's good. Oh my god, we gotta sear this quick. Shit! All right, let's go. So I'm using the bone and the tongs to support over the hot coals. And I am going to close the lid just for the purpose of trying to do this a little bit quicker because doom is impending. Just look at it. Just look at it. Shit. I meant to baste it in butter. I fucked up. If you wanted to get a nicer crust and to taste better, baste it in clarified butter. We missed one side, but we can make up for our mistakes. And get a nice little butter fire. Yeah, boy! I don't see how anything could go wrong with that. It's gonna be about a minute each side, maybe a minute and a half. And hopefully that gets us up to temp. Jeez, it's crazy. I'm really worried about this weather. All right, we got a little bit of a grill inferno. When that happens, which is okay, you see we actually got a really nice sear on that side. I'm gonna go ahead and pour the juices. Really nice. So this is gonna cook very quickly. When a grill's out of control like that, you can close one of the shutters and it's gonna sear just fine. Storm is coming, so we are gonna expedite this. You can see that smoke's coming up now. Watch out for flare-ups at high temperatures. More butter. Butter reignites the flames, of course. I'm gonna try to get a probe in it. I'm scared. Okay, watch this move. You ready? Get it there. It's at 120 right now, which is the low end of rare. So we're gonna let this sear a little bit longer. Once it gets to roughly 125, maybe a little bit over, we're gonna pull it and we're gonna let it rest once more, and that will continue to cook, and we'll get to 135, that nice medium rare. I hope, I pray. We're in the last bit of it. Gonna try to get the sides a little bit here. Not that they need it, because the flames are going bananas, or they were. That's a really gorgeous piece of meat, though. Well, boys, that might be our cue. We're still at around 120, so we gotta let it keep going and pray. I think another 2 or 3 minutes and we'll be there. I'm gonna turn that heat way back up again. Gonna give it one more flip and then call it, because the storm's about to kill us. So you can see that the sear is just looking nicer and nicer. Look at that. That is a gorgeous piece of meat. So I'm gonna say 2 minutes or until we get struck by lightning, and then we'll pull it. It's like a $30 steak, and that was cheap as shit. Would have been 45. Thanks, Kroger, for that sweet hookup. I'm a card carrying member of Kroger. Closing my shutters. We're gonna pull it. Looks beautiful, real beautiful. Holy shit, man! And it's just a real unfortunate thing of timing that this hot grill is gonna get rained on. That's the rain. Let's go. Got our steak kind of loosely tinted, and I think the temperature probe was lying. It looks a little bit more done to me than what it was reading. So we're gonna let that rest a couple minutes, and we'll carve it up and eat dinner. I think this is gonna be nice. You've had your share. You took your share without asking. All right, let's carve into this bad boy. Flipping it around so you get more of the money shots. So the outside I would assume is more done. Yeah, little bits of the doneness there. But Jesus, look at that. Oh, baby. This just looks stupid good. Let's make our way like part way through the steak. Well, let's try the steak. I'm gonna grab a middle piece, which it's gorgeous. I think it's perfect. Amazing what happens when you use tools to cook. And we'll get one of the end pieces too, so we have a little comparison. Cut that for the cameraman and myself. First, the middle piece. Everything that a steak should be was in that bite. The beef to the perfect temperature, perfect doneness, the taste of smoke and real charcoal. I could just die right now. Ah! We'll get a piece of that outer end. It tastes the same. A little more charred. Boys, I think we've done it. Never make steak on the show again. That's not true. I think that lives up to the hype. I mean, that is a really delicious steak. And there's like a couple pounds of it. And we're bleeding. Or I guess we're myoglobining. That's how you do it, folks. Man, I am gonna gorge on this. From whiskey! Toodaloo. Holy shit.